What do you do when you release a song and it goes absolutely nowhere? What if you planned a music video and it all falls apart on set or in post-production? What if you release a song and everybody absolutely hates it? If you've had experiences like these, then keep watching. Because today I'm talking about failure in music and what you can do to grow when a project falls apart. Let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make futuristic and outer space inspired dance pop music, and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, look, I know you're feeling like a failure right now and it's okay, as long as you hit the sub button. Just saying, think about that. All right, so let's discuss failure in music. No, not another video about why you'll fail in music. You've probably seen enough of those and filled your head with enough self-doubt. I want artists to strive to grow and learn from their mistakes, or mine. The truth of the music industry is that not everything you do is gonna go according to plan. Not every release is gonna go how you want it to. Even if you plan things the best you can, things can sometimes happen that are just out of your control. It's okay. It's all about how you grow from those experiences that determine your success. So, first of all, there's something I want you to understand very, very clearly. There is no such thing as failure in the music industry unless you quit permanently. I really want you to understand that and for that to be your mindset. One of the hardest things in this business is learning how to separate things going wrong and feeling helpless and realizing that everything is a building block towards something more. The only time you fail in this business is if you stop trying altogether. Even if your music video falls apart, even if you mess up a performance, even if your album doesn't go #1, there is no such thing as failure unless you let those experiences define you and you quit altogether. And I'm not talking about walking away for a while. Sometimes life will force your hand and it may be the best thing for you. For example, after my album The Space Between was released, it went nowhere. I spent $20,000 and 3 years of my life to produce an album that initially tanked. So life directed me to a job at Starbucks where I kind of just worked on music on the side. It wasn't my focus, but I was still writing about all of my experiences and the way I felt, and I was still trying. Then, after a few years, I left barista life and refocused on music and this channel. I even released a whole other album that failed again initially. So instead of crying about it, I actively sought out classes on music marketing, watching my inspirations and what they were doing in different ways, learned more about various aspects of the industry. I followed every sign that I could, and then my song Graduation hit 1 million plays. My messages are my guided vibrations, once a pioneer, now I'm taking off across the nation. Everything is clear, don't need you moving on, it's graduation. That song wasn't even a single from The Space Between. But 5 years after it was released, it finally started to take off. That led to my fan base growing, my YouTube channel starting to grow, a sponsorship that I got this year, and anything else that happens from here on out. Now I'm still a nobody, but I honor where I come from, and you should too. So what do you do when a project falls apart or doesn't go as planned? First of all, accept what's happening and acknowledge your feelings to yourself. Anything you feel about it is totally valid, but you also don't want to dwell on it. Think as clearly as you can. If you mess up the words to your song in a performance, just do your best to continue with the song or laugh about it with the audience and just continue. No one is perfect. If you fall on stage, you fall on stage. It happens. Now in those moments, don't try to overcompensate or you might lose some other special moments that could happen in that performance that would completely erase what you just messed up. Just keep going and always do your best. I promise you, it happens to everyone. I once covered Who Says by Selena Gomez and The Scene, and I completely forgot the words to the second verse right in the middle of the show. But we just laughed about it and I just got back on track and you keep going. I promise you, it will be okay. So what happens when you release the song and it goes nowhere? Or the reviews are bad? Or it just doesn't perform as well as you had hoped? Well, actually, you've got a couple options. Remember, everyone has an opinion, especially in the arts and entertainment industries. So take what people say with a grain of salt. Not everything you release is going to be a smash hit. Sometimes, it takes like 5 years for your song to get appreciated, but it's okay. You never know what's gonna happen. There are people whose songs were released years ago and they just went viral on TikTok this year. Like, anything can happen nowadays. So your first option is to try and use that negativity to try and do better. Try using it as a way to sculpt your songs into something even more fantastic and see where that leads you. Option 2 is internalizing it and hating yourself, but I don't recommend that option. Another option is try releasing it again later in a different way. Sometimes it's just as simple as timing. Graduation is one of my favorite songs that I've ever made. So yeah, it hurt when it failed initially, but I actually tried giving that song away for free as a digital download for joining my email list, and it worked really well. Which, by the way, if you want to join my email list, there's a link in the description below. I'm just saying you can still get that song for free. Just saying, sometimes you just have to be a little inventive and think outside the box a little. Now, if you've got a music video that isn't going well and is falling apart on set, scrap it, try again. I've done that before. Try a different concept, different people, different director. You're independent. There are very few rules at doing this, and you can do what you want. The point is, every bad experience can lead to even more positive ones. You never know what or when your special moment is going to come. The most important thing is to never give up on yourself, even when it feels like all the odds are stacked against you and everything is just going wrong. Trust your gut and let your instincts lead the way. I said it once, and I'll say it again. There is no such thing as failure in the music industry unless you quit permanently. But, don't do that. So those are some tips on how to deal with failure in the music industry, or as we're calling it now, mistakes. Speaking of, question of the video, what are some mistakes that you've learned from your own music career and how did you grow from them? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you want to check out my video on how to deal with pressures in the music industry or scams in the music industry, I've left some links in the description below so you can check those out. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider following me on Patreon, like Steen here and all these wonderful people, for all sorts of fun rewards like a shout out in an upcoming video. Or consider following me on Spotify. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine.